What's up YouTube, TK Supermoto here. Today I'm going to walk you guys through a DRZ oil change, specifically for me on the 400 SM 2009 model. So first off, obviously you're going to need the oil. I like to use 10W40 fully synthetic oil for my bike. And then you're going to need two of these little washer things. I believe I only use one of them for the main oil drain plug, but I'll let you guys know when I go through that. I'm also going to show you guys how to change the oil filter today. And then as for the tools, all you really need is a socket wrench, a 10, 12, and 14, and the 10 is just to take off the skid plate. And then you're also going to need an oil drain pan. First thing you're going to want to do is remove the skid plate. So go up here underneath the headers. This is the skid plate, and then this is the second oil drain plug right there. So you're going to want to remove the first bolt, which I already took out there. The second and third bolt, those two holes. And then finally that fourth bolt right there. And then this is the initial drain plug, the first main drain plug. But you are going to want to remove the skid plate, because as you can see, you can't really get to that one right there. So I took off the skid plate already through the bolts. So the first drain plug you're going to do is right here, as you can see right there, the main plug right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off and let it drain. The second plug you're going to do is right up there, right by the headers, as you can see through there. You're going to go ahead and take that one off and let it drain. Alright, now that I have the first plug out and the second plug out, actually I got both of them out there, about finished draining in there. So next you're going to come around to the other side of the bike. And then you're going to want to undo this right here. This is your oil filter cover. The oil filter is going to be in there. It's going to be really easy to change. So again, I believe these are 10 millimeters right here. So you want to go ahead and take that off and let the oil drain out of that a little bit. There's probably a little bit in there. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Throw the new oil filter in there. So that's going to be the next one. Oil filter cap is taken off. So you can see there, that's the new oil filter already in there. And the old one is easy to remove. You can literally just wiggle it out and it comes right out. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cap back on. And then after that, after I put the cap back on, and everything's finished dripping, you're going to get the bolts, the drain plugs, and you're going to go ahead and take off, let's see if I can focus, there you go. You're going to go ahead and take off those washers right there and replace them with the new washers that I have on both the main drain plug and then the smaller drain plug. The smaller one is for the frame, if you forget. It's for the upper part right there, and then the longer one, the main one, is for the rear back there. So it's going to be the next couple steps. Alright, so finished putting the front bolt on there, front drain bolt there, and then also the rear one's on back there. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the skid plate back on. Alright, so once you have all the bolts back in, double check to make sure everything's nice and tight. Go ahead and come to the top of the bike, once again on this side. And then where your dipstick is, that's where you're going to go ahead and pour the oil in. And I would recommend using a funnel, and you're going to go ahead and pour 1 3/4 in there. So we'll do that now. Alright, so everything's put back together. Skid plate on down here. Got both bolts on. Oil's all drained. And then oil filter cover is back on, like I said. And then I already went ahead and filled everything up. So what you're going to want to do is, it takes right under 2 quarts. So what I did was, I did 1 whole quart, so I used one of these, or I guess 1 liter, 1.056 quarts. And then I just went down to that 2 mark on the second bottle. So I did 1 full one and then 8/10 or 4/5 of this one. And that should give you, that's just enough for the bike. I mean, you could empty both quarts into it, but it'll be a little overfilled. So, yep, you'll be fine with 1 4/5 quarts. So just like I said, make sure you get 2 bottles, use the whole first one, and then use 4/5 of the second one. Make sure you put everything back together. Go ahead and start it up, let it run.